keep going. 10 seconds. Come on, Lauren. Push, push, push. You can do it.
Think a math or science exam is challenging? Well, try taking this kind of test.
Almost there, almost there. 20 seconds.
Or what about that one? Or this one? These kids are at the Exercise Physiology Lab at Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas. They're taking these tests to find out how healthy and fit they are. And while these kids are acing the tests, most of us would not score very well. In fact, our country's health and fitness levels are in a virtual free fall. Our steady diet of supersized fast foods, combined with endless hours behind the wheel and in front of TVs and computers, has taken its toll. More Americans are obese than ever before and at greater risk for developing diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart attacks, and cancer. Our country's unhealthy lifestyle is causing all sorts of problems, and they don't just affect older people. Many of today's young people are badly out of shape, middle-aged couch potatoes decades before their time. They struggle to climb a few flights of stairs or get out of breath after walking just a few blocks. There is good news, though. Getting fit and getting healthy is actually fun. And that's just one of dozens, probably hundreds of reasons to get healthy and fit, because it's fun and enjoyable. But like life, this program is short. So let's cut out the fat and concentrate on the 10 most important reasons to get and stay in shape. Dr. Craig Harms is an exercise physiologist. He's an expert at understanding the effects of exercise on the body as well as the mind. His research has led him to believe that getting fit in the teenage years will provide a lifetime of benefits.
The thing that we have to emphasize to the teenager is that it's kind of like a bank account, that the more we can save up now, the better it'll pay off for us in the long run later on in life.
But a healthy lifestyle pays big benefits as soon as you start exercising and developing good fitness habits.
If you talk to any individual who's achieved some degree of fitness, who's become active, who's incorporated that into their lifestyle, they'll tell you that there's nothing that tastes as good or nothing that feels as good as being in shape.
And just why does being in shape feel so good? Reason number one.
Exercise definitely makes you feel better. Exercise feels good.
There's a scientific reason for that.
There's some chemicals released in the body during exercise known as endorphins, which are kind of like a natural high type of a feeling. It definitely improves our way we look at things, our perceptions, our mood. All of these things are positively affected. And studies have shown that those tend to carry on after the exercise, which elevates one's mood.
Exercise also increases your attention span and helps you stay alert. People who exercise regularly also have better self-confidence and have an easier time relaxing.
We know that cases of depression, cases of anxiety, relieving stress, getting geared up for a big exam, all these things are positively affected with exercise.
So there you go, a single solution for the blues, stress, and test anxiety.
Cardiovascular health is very important to an overall healthy individual.
The cardiovascular system consists of the heart and blood vessels.
The purpose of the heart and the vessels is to carry oxygen and nutrients to the body and to get rid of the waste products associated with metabolism through our lungs. The heart is a pump, and like any pump, the more efficient that pump can become, the better it's going to operate. As we train, as we become more fit, that pump becomes more efficient. We pump more blood with each contraction. As a consequence, the heart has to contract fewer times each minute.
In fact, an average heart beats around 70 times a minute, but an extremely fit heart may only beat 40 times a minute. That's 1,800 less contractions an hour, 43,200 a day, and 15,768,000 in a year. How can you tell if your cardiovascular system is pumping efficiently?
Blood pressure is a good measure, again, of what's going on in the heart, as well as the vessels.
Blood pressure measures the force exerted on your cardiovascular system each time your heart contracts and relaxes.
That's a good, normal, resting blood pressure.
A blood pressure reading of 100/80 is considered normal and indicates that the heart and blood vessels are operating efficiently. A high reading, known as hypertension, indicates that there may be a problem. One common problem is cholesterol, a waxy substance that is used for many body processes. The liver produces all the cholesterol the body needs. However, a fat-filled diet and poor exercise habits often result in a buildup of dangerous fatty plaque on the blood vessel walls,
which means that the arteries have become narrowed. So we're trying to force the same amount of blood through those vessels, but the vessels are reduced. As a consequence, the heart has to contract much harder to generate the same amount of blood through a narrower tube, which means that the pressure being exerted against the walls elevates substantially.
There are two types of cholesterol. LDL, or bad cholesterol, is the main source of buildup on the blood vessel walls. HDL, or good cholesterol, prevents buildup on the blood vessel walls. A total cholesterol reading of 200 or lower is considered healthy, with LDL, or bad cholesterol, 130 or lower, and HDL, or good cholesterol, 45 or higher. You can get your cholesterol checked with a common blood test. The good news? Exercise, specifically aerobic exercise, increases the body's capacity to make good cholesterol.
Exercise does a lot to improve our overall cardiovascular fitness. Studies have shown that if we maintain an active lifestyle, we can cut the incidence of heart disease by up to 50%. Just focusing on the physical inactivity, just by staying active, doing just enough to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
The best way to increase your cardiovascular health and maintain a healthy blood pressure is by engaging in aerobic activity at least 3 times a week. This test, called a hand dynamometer, is used to measure hand strength and endurance.
We found that this roughly correlates to overall body strength and endurance.
Whenever you're ready, you're going to bend down, swing your arms, and jump up as high as you can and touch one of the pegs up here.
And this vertical jump test measures leg strength and power, which is important in many games and activities. But these are just 2 of hundreds of tests that measure muscle strength and fitness. Why so many tests? Because we have so many muscles, literally hundreds. But there are only 3 kinds of muscles: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Skeletal muscles are the ones that we move voluntarily and allow us to move.
Within skeletal muscles, we've got 2 types of muscle fiber types: fast twitch muscle fiber types and slow twitch muscle fiber types.
Muscle made of fast twitch fibers are suited for actions that are powerful, fast, and explosive. Muscles made of slow twitch fibers are ideal for aerobic activities that require endurance, such as long-distance running, biking, and cross-country skiing. Most people have about equal percentages of fast twitch and slow twitch fibers.
If an individual has a high percentage of one or the other, it's going to dictate on how much they can actually bulk up or what type of activities they're going to be most successful at.
No matter what type of fiber you have, keeping your muscles toned gives you the strength and endurance to do the things you want to do. Muscles also keep you slim and trim because they burn more calories.
The body is divided into the fat mass and the lean body mass. The fat mass we know is metabolically inactive, where calories are not burned. The lean body mass is comprised primarily of muscles, and muscles are what burn calories. So the greater amount of muscles that we have, the more calories we're burning, not necessarily just during the exercise, but in between exercise sessions as well as during sleep.
Keep in mind, getting bulked up is not a healthy or realistic goal for most people. The goal should be to be fit and lean.
I'm going to have you place this mouthpiece in your mouth between your...
We have several different tests that determine whether an individual has optimal lung capacity or optimal lung function.
The lungs work with the cardiovascular system to deliver oxygen and get rid of waste gases. These tests help determine how much oxygen lungs can draw in and how much waste gas they can expel.
An individual's lung capacity is primarily genetically determined. If an individual has very large lungs, doesn't necessarily mean that they're more well-trained or not, but rather how well they chose their parents.
You may not be able to increase the size or capacity of your lungs, but regular aerobic activity will keep your lungs and breathing muscles in peak condition. But the best thing you can do to keep your lungs healthy is to never, ever smoke.
Smoking is one of the worst things you can do for the lungs, absolutely.
Smoking is directly responsible for 87% of all lung cancer cases, and it causes most cases of emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Smoking is also a major factor in coronary heart disease, stroke, and may be related to diseases in other parts of the body. Translation, it's as bad as it gets.
If we don't have good lung health, everything else doesn't matter. Our skeletal system allows structure and support for every other system and organ of the body. Oftentimes we have the misconception that bone is not a living organism, when in actuality it's living. It's constantly being built up and broken down. Each time it builds up and breaks itself down, it's depositing greater deposits within bone and therefore making it stronger and more dense. High bone density indicates strong and healthy bones.
This special X-ray machine measures bone density and can detect if someone's bones are weakening or breaking down. This condition, known as osteoporosis, is most common in older women, but the best time to prevent it is when your bones are developing. That's now.
The more we can do now during the adolescent and teenage years, the greater benefits we're going to achieve later on in life. Again, the bank account, the more we deposit now, the greater benefit later.
Weight-bearing activities such as running, gymnastics, high-impact aerobics, and weightlifting are best at building bones and keeping them strong. After all, you want to keep this guy working for you for a long time.
Just step up on the scale.
For many people, getting on a scale is a scary proposition.
It's an interesting fact that we know more about effects of exercise and weight control than any other time throughout history. Yet there's more people overweight and obese in America today than there ever has been. Excess body weight is a contributor to virtually every disease that we know that's affecting Americans today.
Diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, even cancer can be caused by obesity. Why are we so fat? Take a look around. Why take the stairs when you can ride the escalator? Why walk or bike when you can drive? Why walk through the mall when you can shop online? Why cook a healthy meal when you can get unhealthy fast food in seconds?
It comes down to the basic theory of energy balance, that energy in equals energy out.
This test measures metabolic resting rate and helps determine the minimum amount of energy or calories that a person needs each day.
Respiratory exchange ratio is 0.77, demonstrating that she's burning mostly fats. If we consume more calories than we expend, we're going to gain weight. If we exercise and we burn calories more than we consume, we're going to lose weight.
Eating right, exercising, and maintaining a healthy weight has immediate and obvious benefits because when we look better, we feel better. It's that simple.
Being fit, our clothes fit better. We're pleased with our appearance, how we look in the mirror and how we appear.
But we need a healthy balance.
We know that too much body fat is a bad thing. It contributes to disease states. But also too little body fat contributes to an unhealthy lifestyle as well. We have two types of fat in our body, known as essential fat and non-essential fat. Essential fat is necessary for optimal health.
Scientists use tests, such as these, to determine body composition, the ratio between an individual's fat and muscle tissues. For men, 12 to 18% of their total body weight and fat is considered average. For females, a normal range is 22 to 28%. And here's another way to measure body composition, your basic dunking.
The basic principle behind underwater weighing is that fat floats. And so that the more you weigh underwater, the more lean you're going to be, the more muscle and bone tissue that you're going to have.
Exercise does double duty in helping to maintain a healthy weight. Anytime you exercise, you build and increase muscle mass, and you also burn calories, the proverbial win-win. Activities that use the most muscles, such as cross-country skiing, running, and swimming, burn the most calories. Okay, someone tell her she can come up for air now.
Good job.
Now here's a test most of us could pass with flying colors, and here's some really good news.
We know from studies that teenagers require more sleep than the average adult. During teenage years when we're growing, that growth hormone is most active during our sleeping time.
One of the best ways to ensure a good night's sleep is to have a day filled with exercise and activity.
Sleep is divided into several different stages, known as REM sleep or non-REM sleep. Studies have shown that a sufficient or well-designed exercise program will improve that REM sleep or that deep sleep, and so the teenager will become more rested, more vibrant, lead a more alert lifestyle during the day.
Sweet dreams. Perhaps in our lifetime, scientists will find a cure for dreaded diseases such as cancer. But why take the chance of waiting when you can try to head disease off at the pass?
Cancer is abnormal cell growth, and we know that exercise promotes healthy cell division. There's studies that have suggested that physical activity or exercise can actually reduce the incidence that we see with cancer. Diabetes is a misregulated sugar in the blood. Exercise substantially alters blood sugar levels. It helps control it. It helps maintain it.
In fact, scientists have proven that exercise and proper nutrition are among the best ways to prevent dozens of deadly diseases. And there are no nasty pills to swallow. Gesundheit. Sooner or later, everyone catches a cold or the flu, but you'll get sick less often and recover faster if you exercise. I'm not making this up. Here's why. Neutrophils and macrophages are some of the cells responsible for fighting colds and flu-like symptoms. These little buggers help make us well. Well, guess what? Neutrophils and macrophages love exercise.
By exercising, we increase the potency of those cells and the total number of those cells. As a consequence, individuals get sicker less often, as well as the fact that they recover much more quickly.